Greetings, pipe pals and gals. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre, back at you tonight on a beautiful Friday autumn evening. So I'm smoking I think this is a Joby, and I'm smoking some Northwoods. Perfect little autumnal blend for a beautiful Friday evening. And also at my elbow is a little bit of Black Rifle. Well, this isn't really Black Rifle coffee. It is probably my favorite blends, coffee-wise. It is. Hold on a second, get the old pipe going here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps playing out. Huh? I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm back. Well, howdy there, pipe pals. So before we get started in this video, I'd like to share with you this little video. Okay, I think the camera's right there. Okay, good morning, everyone. Old Father Francis with you, and I am on my first rain walk. So, excuse me, getting some more of that congestion out. So this is a real godsend. It's a real beautiful blessing because we have had so much smoke in the air, and to have this beautiful, glorious rain now washing out our very smoky and kind of hazardous air, it's really wonderful. So I always like to, back when I was kind of in better physical shape and fitness, going out for walks in the rain was one of my favorite treats. And so now, here it is. It's a beautiful autumnal morning. It's the 8th of October. And so I thought I'd get out here before Mass and take a quick little mile walk. It's a very pleasant 36 degrees. And so it's quite refreshing, I have to say. And so anyway, I just thought I'd get out here and kind of chronicle my return to health and fitness. And I've been walking these beautiful roads up here. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Kind of show you on the old camera phone here. And so anyway, I'm off to Tahoe House. I normally would probably get a quick cup of coffee, but I think I'll have to forego that because I've got Mass in about 45 minutes. So I'll delay that, and then So I was going to go to Tahoe House and get a nice big cup of coffee, but I think I'll forego this walk. And I wanted to get out here just before it starts pouring. I don't know how much rain we're going to get later today, but and again, I wanted to get out and kind of celebrate my first rain walk. And so I thought I'd share a little bit of that with you. Thank you for watching. Okay, so as you can see, again, I think I got cut off there when I noticed that the radio had died out. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that needs an update. I don't know. But I'm smoking some Northwoods, and I really love this blend. It's so perfect for this time of year. Okay. Well, I'm here tonight. I just have to tell you, it's been a great day. I don't don't know what's going on with this here. Yeah, I think I packed it too tight. And sometimes you do that. And you have to just kind of deal with it. You know, it feels like it's kind of going on along okay now, but so I hope you're all doing well. I guess, let's see, I got COVID August 20th, and today is, October 15th. I kind of came out of, so I got COVID August 20th, and I started kind of feeling better by the 17th of September. So, yeah, I think I started, so I'm just trying to backdate, how, and so it's been almost 2 months. And one of the classic signs of COVID is you lose your taste of smell and your sense of smell and taste.
Reclamation, and before Olivia Benson, let's film hits. And it's one of many new releases.
Great. Okay, I'm downloading. I just got a brand new. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I have wanted one of these new fangled iMacs. It is just, it's beautiful. Okay, now I got a basic model. That's all they had at the Apple Store today. They actually, I know supply chains are really, limited. And, but they actually, the little gal that sold it to me tonight, she goes, well, Mister, you're kind of lucky because these just came in like yesterday and they're almost all sold out.
That's also the name of that.
But I know that the brand new iMac M1Xs are coming out on Monday, and these little guys will probably just become another little footnote in Apple history. But I gotta say, I have really wanted one of these. I mean, in some ways, it's a departure from the old classic iMac that I love, my iMac Pro. And it's still a workhorse. It does pretty much all of the heavy lifting that I want it to do. So I'm trying to nurse this so it actually will start breathing. So, but anyway, on one hand, I'm so kind of contrary. Because sometimes I like new things, as we all do, and then sometimes I kind of go, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's more of a gimmicky kind of a thing. And so with the M1 iMac, they've been touting that, these M1s are just as powerful now as the Intel, and even more powerful. Even the basic units are like, really more powerful than the Intel, the more like i7s, i9s, those kinds of things. And so I've kind of resisted the hype up until stop it, up until now, and I've been thinking, I like the color things, In fact, it's interesting. The very first iMac, the brand new Steve Jobs iMacs that came out, it's starting to do that thing again. I don't know what it is. I think I got some tobacco in the shank there or something. It's not drawing. This is just what really chaps my hide. Okay, that seems to be working again. Okay. Now I lose the fire now? All my lighters are kind of like dying on me now. Okay. The trials and tribulations of pipe smokers. Okay. Okay. It's kind of like the radio going on and off. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. Seems to be going now good. Okay, let's keep this going. Okay. So anyway, the original the Steve Jobs iMac. I mean, not the little square one that says, you know, I'm Macintosh, you know, that kind of thing. Well, these were the color translucent acrylic. They kind of look like space eggs, you know. And I remember when I came up here 20 some odd years ago, filling in for the pastor at the time, I remember seeing that thing in the little room that I have now. I have my iMac, my Mac Pro 13, my 2013 Mac Pro. That's good. So anyway, and I remember, you know, I thought I was a Windows person at the time, and so I wasn't really impressed. I mean, it's funny. Deep down inside, I kind of thought, this is kind of cute. I know I said it. I did say that. Yes, I did. It was cute. But I'm thinking, well, Apple products, I didn't really know that much about them. I remember not really knowing the operating system, so it was kind of a little bit of a... It just wasn't Windows, so I wasn't really all that interested. I mean, anyway. But I was intrigued as far as, you know, this is a different kind of a computing machine, you know. But for the most part, I just kind of like, I think I might have checked email on it once or twice, and that was about it. But anyway, so these little iMacs that are coming out, and then my very first Mac was an iMac, 17-inch iMac, was given to me as a gift, and I love it. I still have it. I still use it even to this day. Now, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does basic stuff, and it's still okay. And I'm not, you know, I mean, it's like my very first one, so it's probably going to always be hold a sentimental part in my heart. Plus, it was a gift. But anyway, so when I saw these guys come out was it this January, or I guess it was either last, I don't know. I know that these have been out for almost a year now. And I just started thinking, well, you know, they're probably the M1 chip, you know. Now I'm going to find out here probably in about another hour or so. I'm going to be transferring the video from my iPhone to this new little iMac, just to see if the M1 chip is as powerful or close to being as powerful as my mighty workhorse iMac Pro, which I got 2 years ago. So anyway, tonight I splurged. I really shouldn't have, but I love it. It's just a pretty little machine, and you know, I know that the bigger ones will be coming out, and they may make another 27 or 32-inch more powerful iMac than this. This was their entry-level M1 iMacs. So, you know, and there was a lot of hype around it. They had the M1 iMac, and then they had the M1 Mac Mini, and then they had the M1 MacBook Air, and they had the little M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch, I guess, or 14-inch. Anyway, so, you know, if you make YouTube videos, you certainly need a machine that does the editing, and I've been using Macs for now since 2017. So you do the math, that's like 14 years, going on 15 years. Wow, hard to believe. So anyway, I'm gonna give us a little tamp and a little maybe another little light. But it's just one of those beautiful nights and beautiful days, and sometimes, the old saying, some days you're the dog, and some days you're the fire hydrant. And, so today was more like I was the dog today. Yeah. Not Dog the Bounty Hunter, but just the dog that has his day. Every dog has his day. So anyway, just kind of giving you a little post-COVID update, real quick. There is life after COVID. Tonight, when I went to open the jar to the Northwoods, I definitely was able to capture the beautiful aroma of the Northwoods coming out of this beautiful little masonry jar. So my sense of smell is coming back. My sense of taste is coming back. And so I started September 17th. It'll be a month on Sunday, where I've been, one of the things about COVID that, again, part of what happened, which was I kind of consider it a bit of a benefit or a blessing, is that it really altered my sense of not only taste and smell, but it had a kind of a profound impact on my diet. And I noticed, for some reason, I just didn't have the cravings for all the sugary treats that I'd been eating, 2 weeks before that. By the way, I was very irresponsible in eating and gaining weight, and but one of the things that I think is a real blessing is that I don't have any sense of, I want to go out and get, junk food or fast food. We don't have a lot of fast food restaurants up here, so I don't do fast food. But I guess the blessing is that, your appetite changes, your whole kind of sense of taste and smell changes. And that's not to say I may not have, cravings in the future, and I'm gonna, but I got a whole month now of basically just doing meat and salad. That's it, nothing more. And so I'm really kind of grateful for that, because I've actually lost weight, and the most incredible thing is that for the last 2 years, I just haven't exercised, obviously. Part of that had to do with not finding a route that I could walk safely without getting clobbered by cyclists. We do have this little beautiful trail out here. Most people say, well, why don't you walk that? Well, it's mostly a cyclist trail, and they let you know it belongs to them. They're not too friendly with walkers. Now, if you do it really early in the evening, or maybe early in the evening, early in the morning. Stop. That's one of the things about setting up a new computer, is all the little things that you take for granted on a mature system that you use day to day.
I hope you're having a good time. And you're tuned in, so you must.
So anyway, I'm going through those little early setup pains where I expected to do something because all the other ones that I have do, And I realized, oh, that's right, this one doesn't have all of my system files on it. It's just a brand new machine. And anyway, I thought I'd make a little bit of coffee tonight and get pretty much ready for the weekend. But I just thought I'd, kind of get on here and give a little post-COVID update. Let people know I'm still among the living. And kind of, I would say, not just surviving, but thriving. And again, I don't know exactly what happens. Now, I know a lot of people say that there's a great deal of fatigue post-COVID, and I'm not saying I haven't experienced some of that. But let's see, like I said, I came down with it on August 20th. And it was about 2 or 3 weeks of kind of going through it. But what I noticed, it was weird. All of a sudden, I just felt this desire to start walking again. And I found, thanks be to God, I found a safe trail, actually behind all these trees. There's a beautiful neighborhood. And who knew? You can't see it. And so I have started walking. I've been walking every day now. See if I can. There's just, oh, that's right. This has a little key on the bottom. And so I've discovered I can walk 5 miles at a stretch if I need to and want to without getting clobbered by a cyclist. And anyway, that's all been good. So I just wanted to get on here and kind of share that with you. Let's see. The world, I guess I could get kind of political. I guess to be really candid, there's crazy people out there. There's all sorts of craziness out there, and there's not a whole lot that I can do except maybe just kind of acknowledge it for what it is and not let it get to me. That's all. Just saw a video by another one of my favorite YouTubers, although he's not a techie guy or he's not a political guy, or he's just one of our Catholic guys. And it was really nice to see him. He's got COVID now. And the way he presents it is just so down to earth. So many people, I think, have been I think there's been a lot of fear mongering that's been going on. People have subscribed to one view of this whole thing, and unfortunately, for a lot of people, I'm going to try to tilt this just a wee bit there. For a lot of people, people say, well, look at all the people that have died. Well, that's true. I'm not denying that at all. I've never been a COVID denier. I think I said it in my last video. But you got to put it in proper perspective. And again, people die in car accidents every day. Sad to say, it's just a fact of life. But do you let that fear, take control of you? Do you let that fear dictate you? And the thing I like about this guy, maybe I'll put a link to him. His name is Michael Madd. He's the Remnant TV guy. It's a Catholic station. But anyway, I just was kind of like, it's kind of funny because he's talking about, we've got friends that got COVID, and we ask them, hey, come on over now. We'll just, we'll go through it together. And I kind of felt a little jealous. It's like, gosh, I wish I had COVID with those guys, because they sound like they're really doing the right thing. They're all banding together and they're helping each other and, ministering to each other, if you want to use that term. And they're not afraid. They're, I don't know, but maybe they're taking ivermectin, but I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw the Joe Rogan podcast. Now, I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan, I'll be honest. Right up front, I think Joe Rogan is a beep, hole, okay? However, when he got COVID right around the same time I did. So, and people were, whatever, wishing him that he, hope you die, buddy, that kind of crap. And but Joe Rogan pretty much beat this thing within 4 days. Yes, and he took ivermectin, and no, it wasn't the horse version. It wasn't the veterinary version. It was a true pharmaceutical. It was one that was prescribed by a real doctor. And so right now, the CNN doctor was on his show. I think the people said, "Don't go on his show. He's gonna trap you," and he did. He put him in the corner and made him basically eat his own words, or at least CNN's words. And the bottom line was that Joe Rogan basically says, "Hey, you know what? The way you guys are treating this whole thing is really bad, because you're putting too much fear into this whole thing." There are treatments that unfortunately the current administration is not allowing. And Joe Rogan kind of held this doctor's feet to the fire and said, "Why are you guys only subscribing to this one view that this is the only way we can treat this thing? There are other ways that this can be successfully treated." And it may very well be that if we could loosen up on some of these other treatments, that maybe people wouldn't go into these severe things. Now, again, I'm not going to go into a big COVID thing here, but I'm just saying that I think Joe Rogan had some wonderful, he had some credible things to say, and this doctor kind of was like, and I think that a lot of reason why the administration and the powers that be are only subscribing to one view of this, and only one way to treat it is, follow the money. Okay, it's basically being, I think, pushed by the pharmaceutical companies so they can make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they don't care who lives or dies. The other thing is that the reality is that there are people that are coming down with full-blown COVID that have had both shots and the booster. And I think that people need to really be open to not just seeing it one way. People sometimes often criticize myself or other Catholics because they think we're closed-minded, and that's their opinion and they're welcome to it. But I think this COVID thing, and I think maybe now that more and more people, normal people, are getting this and getting through it, no problems. It's miserable. It's just like any other flu. I know about the cytokine storm, and I know that, again, that can be prevented. Again, if you get early treatment, you're probably going to be fine. And also, if you don't have a lot of comorbidity factors, you're going to be fine. Now, unfortunately, with the vaccines, quote unquote, I call them experimental gene therapies because that's what they really are. And wonderful. Final Cut Pro just downloaded on my new iMac. Yes. So I'll be able to try and do a little test run on this video on the new iMac and just see how it does an editing and how it renders, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. Okay, I wish you guys would stop doing that. I don't need you to remind me of these things. I know that it's there. Okay, so again, there is life post-COVID for millions of people have gotten it. Yes, sadly, there have been people that have died. One of the things that people don't want to acknowledge, and I was very lucky, I have to admit, because I have not been in the best of physical health because of my type 2 diabetes, and I gained the weight back, and now I'm losing it now, I'm happy to say. Hopefully in a few more months, we'll see some before and after photos. I did get, I'm not going to share them right now because I want to have something I can say, yeah, this is what I did look like, this is where I was, and this is where I'm at today. And so I'm very confident that I am losing weight again, which is really exciting. I thought, to be honest with you, the last year, because I couldn't walk and my back was all messed up, I really kind of was starting to give into a little bit of melancholia, because I thought, well, maybe my days of being a physically active adult are maybe coming to an end. And yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, they're not where they were 8 years ago, but I didn't think I could do push-ups and pull-ups again. Well, if you start out small and you're consistent, you do begin to build your strength back up. And I'm surprised. Your body will respond to exercise, and you can only get stronger from there. So I've noticed in the last month, I've been walking 5 to 6 miles every day, and these are all up hills too. These are hills. These are hills that go up. It's like, okay. In fact, I had the congestion from COVID. And that was one of the things, and the fatigue. And so when I finally discovered this new route where I can walk safely, and plus it's just an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful walk. I'll have to take some more videos of that. You saw the rain video, which is part of the walk. That's actually the cyclist trail. So I go down to the coffee shop, which is a half a mile from the church, and I come back. That's 1 mile, real simple. It only takes me like 20 minutes, if that, 15 minutes, providing if I'm not talking to the little gal who gets my coffee. She's really nice. Her name is Kitty, Miss Kitty. And so she's a nice gal, and she always likes to say some positive comments about the church and how nice the church is looking, and just makes her just really good at small talk and just really friendly. So I get my coffee and maybe some deviled eggs. They have fresh deviled eggs that they make every morning, and they're delicious and good protein, right? Good source of protein. So anyway, but the neighborhood is just breathtakingly beautiful, especially this time of year. We had a little dusting of snow last week, so it came and went. So even though we had maybe 2 inches on the ground, it melted, before 1 o'clock. So everything was fine, But it's our little pre-snow time, kind of setting everything up, getting ready for winter. So, but I discovered that once I started walking, a lot of the congestion. Because you have to deep breathe, and the doctors and the nurses say, "Are you doing deep breathing exercises?" And I'm going, "Yeah, you could say that." The first 3 days that I forced myself to go up these hills, and again, it's not like a nice, gentle park where you can just walk and it's all really, easy. The first part of my walk, it's a butt kicker. The first time I did it, I think I had to stop after about 20 steps and. But each day now I don't even notice getting winded now. And then once I drop, if I can get under 200 now, I'm about 220. I was 240, so that tells you something. So once I get under 200, my body will start to want to run, and I can do interval running again. I'm very confident that I can even return to a little bit of interval running once I drop the weight. I don't want to start running now because I don't want to put undue pressure on my knees and my lower back. But I am confident that once I lose another 20 pounds, it'll be realistic for me to do interval running again. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, just kind of doing the calisthenics, and the fasting. I try to do intermittent fasting 3 days a week. And that seems to help out an awful lot too. That's how I lost all that weight, 7 years ago. So anyway, I'm confident that I'm kind of returning to health and fitness again, and it's kind of exciting, and it's very positive. And again, there is life after COVID. I'm still gradually getting that sense of smell back and sense of taste back, and that's all good. So again, like I said, I just watched this video from this guy named Michael Matt, and he's a wonderful YouTuber and Catholic commentator, and he's he's in Minnesota, and don't you know? So he's up there, and he's sitting there on his deck, and now a lot of people, I don't know what it is, but us cold weather people, we really just kind of, it's just part of what we live for, And so he's out there on his porch, and he's drinking his coffee. I'm sure that he can't taste the coffee. Most of us, coffee was, I don't think I drank coffee for about 2 weeks. I mean, I had to drink it only because I get the bad headaches from the withdrawal. So I would brew up maybe half a cup and just chug it, just kind of, because it just doesn't taste good. It didn't taste awful, but it certainly didn't taste like, you couldn't taste the coffee taste, and nor could you smell it. It was just getting that caffeine into your body because of the headaches and stuff. So anyway, but hey, it worked. It worked. It was kind of like, but I think I only had maybe a small half cup every day, and that was it, because it wasn't appetizing. Nothing's appetizing for the first 2.5 weeks. I think I just had juice and a little bit of chicken soup, and I'd have maybe a few tablespoons of that, heated up in the microwave, and life was just kind of not very good. In fact, what happened was, where I kind of credit my transformation and kind of getting back into life, I was talking to this person, and she says, well, when was the last meal you had? And I said, I haven't had anything to eat except just a little bit of soup and juice and water, and for 2 weeks. And I said, well, I don't have an appetite. Because they said, well, maybe somebody can bring you some chicken soup, homemade chicken soup. I said, don't bother. I'm not hungry. I don't want it. I basically just would take a few tablespoons of, microwave soup and that, chicken soup, and that was it. That's all I could put on my tummy. And so they said, you definitely need to start eating again. I said, but I don't have an appetite. And they said, hey, you need to go out and get a steak. Go get a steak and cook it up and eat it. I said, I had no appetite for that, not especially that. It just sounded like I was just really repulsive, like, ugh. And so I was starting to move around a bit, and I went out to get some mail, check on the mail and everything. And I remember going by a pastrami sandwich shop. They make these roast beef pastrami sandwiches. And that was the first time I could actually smell something that smelled like food, and it was kind of palatable. Like, oh, that smells kind of good. So I said, okay. On the way home, I went and got a little steak, and I sat it on the counter to get it at room temperature, and then I seasoned it with some salt and pepper, and I let it sit for a little while longer. And then later that afternoon, I said, well, I'll just try and see if I can eat this. And I was able to eat it. It was a small steak, so it wasn't a big thing, but it was the first solid food I had. And I would say within about 3 hours, I noticed a tremendous sense of vitality kind of coming back into my body. And then like I said, the very next day, I said to myself, you know what? You need to try and go for a walk and try to discover, it's sort of like it was a two-pronged thing. You need to walk, and you need to find a place that you can walk safely. And maybe now's the time to just start off slow and easy and see if you can figure it all out. So anyway, lo and behold, that famous Broadway musical team, I found this wonderful set of streets and trails that there's no cyclist up there, maybe an occasional car once in a blue moon. It's just totally safe. And I was like, oh my gosh, this has been here all this time. And it was kind of the same way in Elk Grove when I was at Good Shepherd Parish. We had a little park, but I thought it only was very, shallow. It just kind of went into, and then it just, had a fence, and that was the end of it. I'm going, well, I guess I could walk around that a couple times, but that's pretty boring. That's not really challenging. That's not going to be long range long term, you know, I mean, it's just going to be, and I used to walk the neighborhood there, but then one day I said, well, I'm going to just see how far back this little park goes. And, you know, lo and behold, it went on forever. It went on, it had like a little lily pad of chain parks. You know, you go to one park and then cross the street, there's another park. And then you cross the street after you go through that park and there's another park. And it was like park after park after park. And I went, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And that's how I began to start walking 3 miles in the morning, 3 miles in the afternoon. And within about 3 months, the weight was starting to come off and I was starting to feel much better. And, you know, it was just really great. So I'm finding that I'm having that same wonderful experience once again. And I'm just so grateful for that. Very, very grateful. So anyway, I hope you got something out of that this week, this month. You know, it's my monthly video. So I hope you are doing well and staying healthy, because they're saying that really the best preventative thing you can do is really get your health back, get strong, and you know, cut out all the junk, eat just a super clean diet, and get the exercise and the sleep. And those things, my friends, if you have a strong immune system, even if you do get this thing, you know, it's likely it's going to be very mild for you and it won't be complicated. But if you're like I was before I got it, you know, 40 pounds overweight and you know, eating bad food all the time, it sets you up for trouble. So anyway, I hope that's some, you know, basic, down-to-earth, good advice for most of us, most of you. And you know, and occasionally, if you want to enjoy a nice pipe on an autumn evening, you know, that's okay. You know, that's perfectly fine too. I mean, so now some people may say, well, that's dumb. You're compromising your health by smoking. Well, again, it's not. And this is probably the first pipe I've had since the last one I had, which was about a month ago. So it's not like I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm reaching for my lighter and going, I gotta get a pipe in me now. You know, now I know there are people that are like that, and God bless them, and I'm not here to judge them either. But again, you know, anything to excess is just not a good thing. Whether you're eating way too much sugar, eat too much highly refined, carbohydrates, processed food from the grocery store, or fast food from the Mickey D's and all that. Well, you know, again, and I love that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but there comes a point where you have to say, it's not good for you. So, and again, I think most people out there are probably just, they maybe occasionally indulge in those kinds of things, and that's okay. A little bit of birthday cake once in a while, but again, when you're anyway, excess is never a good thing. So that's all I guess I'm trying to say. But so thanks for watching the video tonight with me, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. And light up your world, light up your pipe. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Did that work? Yeah.